Well, this absolutely sucks. One of those days where you kind of wish this was an April Fool's joke. Unfortunately, it wasn't because Calais Campbell signed a one-year, $5.5 million deal with the Arizona Cardinals, and everything was trending throughout the entirety of the day for Calais Campbell to have a little bit of a reunion in the Charm City. Unfortunately, that's not what happened, and he is going to the desert in his second stint with the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to break that down, and then I'm also going to give you a couple of top draft targets to look at on the defensive line in the back half of today's show. But before we get into any of those, make sure you guys hit that sub button because we are starting a brand new sub battle with a brand new rival this month on the channel. We're going to take down the Chiefs report, okay? We're already up 3 subs, and it is the 1st of April. Let's make sure to absolutely bury them, okay? I need at least 20 subs off today's video before I can feel good about this lead. So help me out. Hit that sub button, and let's dominate the Chiefs report. So why is this bad, you ask? Well, like I said just a little bit ago, Calais Campbell, it seemed that he was almost a Raven. And before you click out of the video and say, Joey, you're just spitting out rumors, you're not spitting out facts, none of that's actually true. Au contraire, my friend, because multiple sources reported on it today, one coming from the Miami Herald, Barry Jackson himself. This was in one of his articles, saying Campbell, a free agent defensive lineman, is mulling over whether he wants to sign with the Dolphins, Baltimore Ravens, called them out by name, or another team. Retirement isn't out of the question either. And then Ravens Nation Live tweeted this out, saying the Ravens are working to bring defensive end Calais Campbell and have officially offered him a contract per NBC Sports. Bring him home. Unfortunately, they only read the first 3 lines of that tweet and not the last one because they did not bring him home, did they? And I really wish that they did because if you look at what he did in year 17, at age 30 freaking 8, it was phenomenal. An 82 overall grade, a 66.2 pass rush grade, and his run defense grade was an 85.9, the best in the National Football League. And I think he would have just fit in perfectly with this front 5, okay? This is a group that was good this past season, and that's pretty much it, okay? Especially on the interior. They were good. Not great, just good. Nnamdi Madubuike took a little bit of a step back. I think he got overwhelmed with all the attention he was getting. A lot of double teams. Travis Jones, Broderick Washington, those guys stepped up in spots, but not enough consistently. And it's easy to see. It's easy to think. It's easy to feel that Baltimore could have used Campbell in 2025. They could have used him a lot. Now, I get it. He's going to be 39 this year. Okay? I understand that. He's no spring chicken. But still, with what he was able to do last year and the years prior, even if he takes a medium step backwards, he's still going to give you something good, especially when it comes to his ability to stop the run. So be honest with me in the comment section down below. Do you wish Baltimore would have signed Campbell? Because I do. Let me know by giving me a yes or a no in the comment section. Weigh in and give me your answer. So the silver lining is, right, he is almost 39 years old. And they did give him $5.5 million, which in my opinion, that's a good chunk of change. You're not giving DeAndre Hopkins $5.5 million. And he plays a position that gets paid more statistically, and he is younger by a good bit than Calais Campbell. I think Calais Campbell probably wanted to stay a Miami Dolphin or wanted to be a Baltimore Raven, but then Arizona blew him out of the water with an offer that no other team was willing to put up. But still, if you look at the last 4 seasons, he's the picture of consistency. 17 games, 17 games, 14 games, 15 games. And he's just he's the picture of talent. 52 tackles, 56 tackles, 11 and a half sacks combined in the last 2 years. And I also think we need to remember there's a reason that they were tied to him again this year because he was almost released last year, when Miami didn't know if they were going to make the playoffs. And at age 38, he decided with the team, you know what, I want to get a ring. So they said, you know, if we're not going to get in the playoffs, if we're not in contention, we'd be willing to release you so that way you can sign on with another team and possibly win a ring. Here's what Calais Campbell had to say. He said, I'm cherishing this moment. This was back in December. I feel like this team has so much potential. We're so much better than how we've been playing, but I want a chance to win it all. My whole career, I've been close, but no cigar. I want that cigar. And, that's not the only time that this team almost landed Calais Campbell. It happened even a couple months before that, right before the trade deadline. Cole Jackson tweeted this out today. Interest in Calais Campbell is no surprise. They had a deal in place to trade him, and Mike McDaniel nixed it to try to save his job, stack up some wins for a playoff spot. And then, this is the funny part. Older player, no real rush to sign. Yeah, that wasn't true. He signed about 22 minutes later. Cole, you got. We all got. Don't worry. It wasn't in the cards, unfortunately. This was the third swing and a miss, and you know what they say about that? 3 swings and misses, you're out. Alrighty? They wanted to get him in November. They didn't. They thought about doing it again in December when he might have got released. He didn't get released. And then they were in the mix this time around. They didn't land him. It's just probably not going to happen. Okay? So if Calais Campbell isn't going to be a Baltimore Raven, let's talk about 3 guys who possibly could be via the NFL draft. Because outside of Campbell, there's no interior defensive lineman that I really like, that I would really love to add to this roster. That was where I was going to go with this video until I looked up the best available defensive tackles and I said, you know what, let's talk draft targets because these guys stink. You know what doesn't stink? The Ravens draft hats. And any of these guys I'm about to talk about could be wearing them very soon, but do you know who could be wearing them even sooner? You. All you got to do is go to chatsports.com/Ravens draft hat. You can get this one for yourself. You can get it white. You can get it in black. The cool thing is if you don't like the high trucker look, they got just a regular old ball cap for you as well. You can get that one in black. You can get that one in white. They got tons of different styles. They got the fitted hats. They got the ones you can adjust by yourself. And they're absolutely sweet. I love these draft hats. I think they're the best draft hats in a very long time. And you can get yours. Chatsports.com/Ravens draft hat. Get them now because they're going to go quickly. And in a couple of weeks, when we get closer and closer to the NFL draft, they're going to continue to fly off the shelves. You can find that link in the comment and description of today's video. Chatsports.com/Ravens draft hat. Alrighty, let's talk about top defensive tackle draft targets. Let's start with the defensive tackle out of Oregon, former Duck, Derrick Harmon. This is a guy that we've seen mocked to the Baltimore Ravens multiple times. Let's start with the scouting report on the good side, okay? He had a 91.2 true pass set, pass rush grade. I'll dumb that down. He was pretty damn good when he was rushing the passer. 39 hurries, an 18.8 pass rush win rate. He is a pure pass rushing interior defensive lineman, which is something that this team could need. The unfortunate part of that, he's not that great in the run. And he can struggle with tackling. He had a 29.8 tackling grade. That's bottom 12 in all of FBS. He had a 27.0 missed tackle rate, which is astronomically high, and a 64th stop rate. This guy struggled heavily, and I would like a little bit more consistency on my defensive tackles. But if you're cool with him missing a decent bit of tackles, and you want a guy that's going to come in here and get pressures, get hurries, get sacks, Derrick Harmon is your guy. Another person that could be your guy is Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle out of the University of Michigan. He's got a lot of good to him too, okay? He's a freaky athlete. Like we're talking Jordan Davis-esque. A guy who could come in here and just absolutely wreck a ball game. He also gets his hands up really well. 10 pass breakups in the last 2 seasons. There's quarterbacks that are going to get taken in the top 15 of the draft that don't have that much. Alrighty? And he, like the opposite of Derrick Harmon, had very few missed tackles. 4 in his career, 5.5%. Very, very low. Unfortunately, the production this last year and kind of throughout his career, it hasn't quite matched the traits that you would get with him. He should be better against double teams, and part of that reason is because he can play a little bit tall. And that doesn't work well in the National Football League, especially on the interior, when a lot of the times the center is the smallest offensive lineman on the field, and they can just, you know what, if you play tall, they're already down there. They got a low center of gravity. They get up under your pads, you're done. That rep's over. You didn't do anything, okay? So those are things to keep in mind about Kenneth Grant. Let's talk about the last one. Alrighty, Walter Nolen out of Ole Miss. I don't love Walter Nolen, but that's only because he didn't go to Tennessee when I wanted him to go to Tennessee. Let's talk about him as an NFL prospect. He's a good tackler, okay? He only missed 5 in his entire career. He checks the boxes on both size and length. He's a really, really big dude. And he does have really good bursts. That helps him win both in pass rush sets and in run stop sets as well. However, if he doesn't get that great burst off, and, offensive linemen can get on him from time to time, he's not a great shedder when it comes to the run game. All righty? He also is a bit of a head scratcher because he's very hot and cold. As in, he only had 6 games, or he had 6 games with 0 or 1 pressure. 6 with 0 or 1 pressure. And also, I don't want to say his intuition isn't necessarily there, but at sometimes he was pretty late to react and identify the play. So that kind of slowed him down from time to time, caused him to miss a few tackles. Pick one of those 3 guys for me. I laid them out for you. Now you choose. You want Derrick, Harmon, Kenneth Grant, or Walter Nolen? If I had to pick out of those 3, I'm probably going Kenneth Grant, but you let me know in the comment section. I'm going to give me a DH, KG, or a WN. As always, make sure you guys hit that sub button. We're trying to take down the Chiefs report right now. Need your help to do so for the best news, rumors you can find right here on YouTube. On your Baltimore Ravens, you got us. Lock us in. Subscribe.